Welcome to this week's edition of Mainely Motorsports. I'm here with co-host extraordinaire Greg Emerson and spotter extraordinaire, which, you know, your hands were tied or full or everything the other night
Yeah.
trying to spot. But last week we had some highlights from Beach Ridge and, you know, some of the race action. Heard from the winners, the MRS race, which me and you really never even talked about the MRS race. But,
No.
you know, this past weekend over at Waterford, they said it was a crash fest. So we had one caution for.
Oh, so they went faster than half throttle?
Yeah, they went half fast and half throttle, but you know, it was a good night of racing, a good night to be a part of everything over there, and you know, saw some really intense battles. I wouldn't say they were good battles, but intense battles, you know, and you know, kind of, you know, got there and kicked the night off with, you know, being a part of watching the third generation of the Rowe legacy make his debut on the big track, and that's, you know, Gunnar Rowe in the 24 Whiz Kids car, and, you know, pretty excited grandfather talking about, you know, talked to him Thursday night at great length about the whole deal. And pretty funny how that Whiz Kid thing operates, you know, they kind of get their parents and, you know, their family involved. And,
Yep.
you know, Donna Coffin does a great job of running everything and handling everything, and you answer to her, and she has a hold on what takes place, which they need to.
Mm-hmm.
But she gets the family involved, and Mike was telling me the story of how when Gunnar was out there, you know, Mike's riding in the back seat of where there was a back seat, but there isn't a back seat, hanging on the pipes, you know. And
Right.
so never thought I'd see Mike Rowe take a back seat to anybody, but I guess his grandson he does, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So, and then there was some good racing all along, you know, some good battles, and, you know, some of the things that happened, I just, you know, I don't understand. I just don't understand. It's like the week before, you know, you had the Louis situation, you know, getting fined again. You had, you know, the Frank Ware, you know, spinning on the last lap, and, you know, and then, you know, I always, my big thing in anything is, you know, especially racing, don't put yourself in position to fail, because you're gonna. Eventually you're gonna, and that's
Yep.
what happened, I think, in both of those situations.
Yep.
You know, and, you know, Frank rebounded, you know, didn't maybe make a big dent into the points that he's trying to chase down Garrett Hall, but it could have gotten a lot worse for him as he got, you know, he ran into a lap car. But one of the things I noticed the other night, and I don't know where fault lies, okay? It was in the Sports Series feature. They cross them over. Well, for some reason, a couple of them up front.
For some reason, in all the divisions I've been watching and I've been paying attention, but not really. I can't really say that that's been my main focus, but people aren't crossing over the way that they should be.
No, when they cross over, you know, if you're fourth, you go to fourth. You go beside the guy that's third. Well, I watched the other night in the race.
The only person that has a choice is the leader.
The leader.
Between the start-finish line and the light in one
Maybe they
turn.
don't know that. Maybe they don't know that. Because I saw the other night where somebody was supposed to cross over up in the front, and they did cross over. But the problem was they didn't pull up next to the guy that was third and they were fourth. They sat next to the guy that was fifth, so they're sixth. So what do you think happens as you go down the line?
It just messes everything up.
Eventually it's going to mess everything up. You know where it messed everything up? With Garrett Hall.
The point leader.
Thinks that he should be 11th, which he should know at that point. He should be able to count, no, I'm supposed to be 10th. And with a track where the outside seems to be the preferred groove on a restart, you want to protect that.
It makes a difference.
And he didn't. He lined up 11th, and the car that should have lined up 11th jumped up to 10th. So, I mean, you've already passed the guy and gained 2 points on him under caution. I mean,
Right.
it don't get any easier than that.
Right.
And, you know, and then Garrett was left to struggle on the bottom the rest of the race, and didn't, you know, not saying starting 10th would have got him any better, but it got that car better.
Right.
And, you know, so I don't know if the track needs to pay a little bit more attention to
I don't know.
restarts are happening. I know it was brought up in the drivers' meeting the other night about, you know, scuffing your tires when you crossed over and things like that. But this was something, and I saw it on more than one occasion. And I didn't see it in any other division except the Sports Series. I saw it on 2 restarts. I saw it on 2 different occasions. One occasion, it didn't play a part in, but the guy just didn't pull up. And eventually he does, but it just, you know, it screws everything up. And then the guys don't get a good restart, you know, because it's like anything. It's like the accordion effect. If I tap you a little bit, you know, when you get squirrely and then I lift and then everybody starts lifting, eventually somebody's going around.
The accordion effect, when you were saying that reminds me of, restarts in the Pro Series.
Oh yeah, and when they had the restart,
Retarded.
you know,
Because the guys that were up front, and I'm saying this on here, and it's because I would say it to them, right to their face. You've been racing for how long? You should know how to restart.
well, they know how to restart. They're
They
just
just-
psyching each other
yeah,
out.
it's
And,
stupid.
But what happens is it goes down the line,
And it
and
wrecks good race
yeah.
cars.
And so you guys were really. I mean, I thought your night was done then. So if Dan comes back and wins this championship series, he ain't gonna win it on the last night. It was won this past weekend because he didn't give up. The crew didn't give up, and he salvaged what was gonna be a real bad night. And he, there was some bleeding, but not a lot.
Right,
I mean,
ends
he
up
was
with a 7th.
Yeah, a 7th when it could have been a 12th.
Right,
And
or a 20th.
yeah, no, it was, so, I don't know what's going on there with restarts, like you said that, and then the guy's not crossing over. I mean, and it's having an effect, and now, Garrett Hall should have known where he should have been. He should have pulled over and said to the officials, hey, listen,
Right.
I should be 10th. They got transponders, they know the lineup.
If you have a question it. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a hobby and blah 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 blah. But you know what? Everybody has money invested.
Well, it's not a hobby.
Everybody-
Every time there's when there's a position change, and the track announcer's talking
Say,
about
right,
the points.
how important it is.
So, I guess it ain't a
Right,
hobby.
right, exactly. So, I mean, it's just one of those deals where you have to, and it's one of the things that bugs me about short track racing. I don't have a whole bunch of gripes, but I do certain things, and I think I've actually said this to you a few times. What is the easiest way to fix the lineup of the cars? Stop them on the backstretch. Have the dude walk out at Beech Ridge. Probably Dan Walker would be the guy. Have whoever does the lineup. I think at Beech Ridge is Junior. Tell Dan Walker, 30 car, 12 car, 16 car, and he points at them and goes. And they go to the front stretch. They line up. They're crossed over. It's done, and they go.
Listen, you want to talk about that? All right, this is my take. It's going to be.
Oh, stop them somewhere on the track. Like if there's a wreck, opposite end of the track, get the lineup straight while they're cleaning the wreck up.
Where you belong. You're a grown man. I watched them throw the caution for the whiz kids. They didn't stop them. Those kids got in line, crossed over, and went back
Yeah,
racing.
no, I know.
No, these guys are adults. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know where they belong. But, if you don't think it's right, in my opinion, not that it might have changed the outcome of Garrett Hall's night. Maybe he wanted to take 11th and stuff, but you know what? 10th is rightfully yours. You need to start there. And
Maybe he did want to take 11th because that put him on the bottom, even though the bottom wasn't the preferred group. But as being a championship contender, maybe they played it smart, thinking, well, I can't get run out over the lip. I can't get run out off the track.
No,
I can't
so
get
no,
run into the
this is
backstretch
just-
wall,
But now it messes everything up the rest of the way down the line.
Yeah.
And it was really good. I mean, and the battle of the pro stocks and Charlie Colby, and one of the other things I see that's going on there now, and maybe it's just me, and maybe I'm on an island by myself, but I don't think so.
No.
I ain't in the championship hunt, so we gotta just save our tires, save our stuff, and try to win races, which isn't wrong. I'm not saying that's wrong.
No.
But that's a product of the system. Whereas the only guy that really makes out at Beech Ridge or any track usually is your track champion. St. NASCAR Sprint Cup, where second place in points.
Well, a guy
2.5 million.
on average, it costs between $500 and $700 to run a pro stock on a Beech Ridge weekly Saturday night, and a guy who saves his tires, pulls off in the heat, pulls off the week before, and pretty much has good tires. And there was 3 or 4 of them that did it last week or whatever. That guy's guaranteeing himself a better chance at $1,100 check. Doubling his money.
So right now, as the way things stand, unless something changes, the champion at Beech Ridge will win more money than anybody. The next guy in line is going to be Charlie Colby, who has 3 wins. And I'm not saying Charlie's done that, or he won 3 out of the last. He dug himself such a hole, but
And he hasn't done it for all of his wins. You know, one of his wins was earlier in the year.
Yeah.
So
You know, he is back in the second heat now.
Right.
And, but yeah, I noticed that the other night, guys, and, you know, I got some friends that are spotters, and, you know, I'll tease them. I'll say, hey, did your driver get tired, or is he saving his tires, you know?
Right.
And we all know, and I don't know how you
oh,
stop
so
it.
that's what you were doing at the go-karts a few weeks back? You were saving your tires?
No, I admitted. No, I was getting tired. What did I say when I came in? What, did something happen? No, I was conserving energy. I was saving energy. So we're gonna talk about go-karts later, but you know, we got a bunch of stuff planned for today's show, and
Yep.
you know, as great a night it was at Beach Ridge for a lot of people, very sad night for Sally Girardi and her team.
Yeah.
77, and it was nothing to do with the on-track stuff. It was after and leaving the pit area, and a crew member, you know, riding, you know, and we don't have all the details, but
Right.
you know,
It's just a bad deal all around when something happens and a tragedy strikes, and it affects, you know, it affects them greatly, but it affects the community as a whole.
yeah, that's one
And-
thing, and I don't know.
And in a way, it's anything like that that happens is kind of an eye opener to
Yeah,
everybody.
Everybody's going to pay attention and, you know, make sure it doesn't happen to them. So, you know, our condolences and everybody.
Right.
You know, not only Sally and the entire team, because we all know, I mean, you guys are a perfect example of what a team means in this sport. You know, it's just such a camaraderie. It's like your second family.
Right.
You know, you spend those nights at the shop, you spend all day Saturday and Saturday night at the track. You know, so it is you know, things aren't going to be the same for them anymore. You know,
Right.
after losing a crew member in the way they did. So, you know, condolences and our thoughts and prayers to the whole 77 team, and, you know, hopefully they finish the year out on a great note, you know, in memory of the crew member that lost his life. But we're going to take a break, and we'll be back here on Mainely Motorsports.
Looking for something different and exciting to do on Friday night? How about real NASCAR racing at Lee USA Speedway, featuring the ground-pounding, super-fast, super-modifieds, the fender-rubbing late model sportsman, unpredictable hobby stocks, and more. It's great family fun and excitement. Kids under 12 get in free, and there's acres of free and easy parking. Friday nights at Lee USA Speedway, located right on Route 125 in Lee, New Hampshire. Check LeeUSASpeedway.com for more information.
Looking for a great time, great people, and great food? Then visit New England's #1 biker destination, Bentley's Saloon, owned by legendary super-modified driver Bentley Warren. Bentley's is a biker bar that welcomes everyone. Staying in the area, Bentley's has their own full-service campground right on site. Tuesdays, Bentley's Cruise Night attracts car enthusiasts from all over New England. Located on Route 1 in Arundel, Bentley's Saloon guarantees a great time. Check out the fun at BentleySaloon.com and see why Bentley says, who has more fun than us?
The Monster Truck Throwdown Tour invades the Oxford Plains Speedway Saturday and Sunday, August 17th and 18th. Watch 8 of the biggest and baddest Monster Truck superstars, including Jim Kohler and Avenger, Backdraft, Raising Cane, and Maine's very own Monster Lobster Crustacean Throwdown, in Maine's biggest outdoor event of the summer. Plus, see the thrills of freestyle motocross and take a ride in a real monster truck. Kids tickets start at just $10. Call 207-539-8865 now to reserve your tickets. Don't miss the pre-race party with the driver. Produced by Midwest Monster Truck Events.
Well, this past weekend, you know, the big mods weren't at action over at Star, but they had still a lot of other action going on.
Yep.
And, you know, Dave McGuire, eye in the sky, you know, over there shooting some highlights. And Guptill made his debut with his new Pro 4, sleek looking, you know,
Mini mods.
mini stocks.
Yep, mini
You know,
stocks.
Mini stocks. We saw Joe Allard's car at the, you know, Portland show. So,
Yeah.
you know, they didn't have a big car count, but, you know, they put on a good race. So, we got some highlights from down there, and, you know, also, you know, a little segment on, you know, highlights from his deal.
Right.
So, enjoy this from Star Speedway.
Guptill crosses the left, starting on the pole. The 25 will be Nick Killing for the Coffee New Hampshire. Row number 2, the 81, Ryan Lee, got collected in that. Had to really slam on the brake. That's going to close up the field. Now Joe Meadows. Tonight in the Northeast Pro 4 Tour, this is Brian Lancaster in car number 81. Brian, the car looked real strong early. That last restart maybe got a little loose on you. Joe crept up. You put on a good show, held him off. Tell us about your run and how it feels to be in victory lane tonight at Star.
It feels awesome. We come all the way from Skowhegan, Maine. Yeah, she was good on that first run, but after that, with the oil or something, she tightened up, and then off, she just wanted to break free. I'd just like to thank Kevin Douglas for coming down to help, my brother, my girlfriend, my Uncle Craig, and Rennie Wyman Trucking, Computer Improvements, and Nordrock Trading Post. And anybody got a late model out there that's just sitting, find a 4-cylinder in it. That's what Joe's is, and put it together and come race with us.
All right, how about a hand? Your winner tonight in the Pro 4 Tour, Brian Lancaster in car number 81. Thank you. 30 laps of distance for the Allen How's it feel to be back in victory lane after the misfortune a couple weeks ago?
It feels pretty good. The guys work real hard on this car to prepare it.
One more time, let's hear it for your Allen's Outlaw winner, Joe Squealia. Jake Joff was third. Get a picture for the 18. Air left complete. Let's go. Finishing first tonight, out of Plastow, driving car number 55, New Hampshire. How about a hand for your point leader, Wild Billy Osborne? Massachusetts driver. How about a hand for car number 2, charging Charlie Baldwin. Charlie, you had my heart racing up there, racing your way through the field. Great run tonight. I know you're happy to be in victory lane. You got this car figured out. Tell us about it. Tell us how happy you are to be back in victory lane here.
This is awesome. Yeah, definitely. We struggled with this car, so you guys know. But these guys gave me an awesome car today, and this is sweet. This is good. I got thank Checker Flag Indoor Karting. He helps out tremendous. Murray Brothers Construction, he helped a lot. Other guys, Mike Erickson, Mike Richard, Adamo, everybody. Everyone's great.
All right, once again, your Woody's Auto Strictly Stock feature winner, charging Charlie Baldwin.
Now, those will be some pretty neat cars. You put 15 to 20 of them on a track, they're going to put a good race.
And there's no doubt that Goptel's going to put it together because look what he's done with the Northeast Mini Stock Show.
Exactly right. But this upcoming weekend over there, we got a lot of action we're going to talk about later, but the Granite State Pro Stock Series makes their, one and only visit to Star Speedway. And last year, Matt Fromm picked up the win. It was a good little race, and we'll see what happens this Saturday over there. We're going to be there actually getting some highlights, and legends will be there as well. So if you're looking for that place to do that's a little different than what you've been doing, Star Speedway, to see the Granite State Pro Stocks this Saturday.
Clark's Eastside Scrap and Westside Scrap, two of the region's most efficient scrap yards. Both locations have the latest and greatest equipment, along with large capacity scales that are constantly calibrated to ensure honest weights. Car crushing, roll-off containers, scrap metal. Clark's Eastside Scrap in Chelsea and Clark's Westside Scrap in Farmingdale. Don't fix it, scrap it.
You don't have to wait till the camping season is over to get your best price of the year on all in-stock travel trailers, fifth wheels, pop-ups, motorhomes, and toy haulers. We have over $1 million in snowmobile trailers incoming and really need the room, so all RVs need to go. Save up to $20,000 on fifth wheels, toy haulers, and Winnebago Class C motorhomes. Save up to $10,000 off travel trailers. Get your best deal while the best part of camping season is still here.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Another thing, Greg, at the end of the year, Beech Ridge has 3 weeks left, points races, are basically the same. Other tracks have a little more, and Wiscasset isn't keeping point battles and stuff. But it's always Oxford and Beech Ridge that you have the tightest point battles. Usually at the other tracks, somebody will get on a roll and they'll dominate. And but a couple things that really have jumped out to me as we end the season is how about the Brackett family up in Oxford?
Right. Yeah.
Since the 250, TJ winning the pole, running well, leading some laps. Tim. Top 10 finish, and then Vanna didn't qualify, but come back from that, she's been the story. A runner-up finish, and then a victory, and they're sitting 1, 2, 3 in the points up there.
Right.
Not unheard of from Timmy and TJ, but a little surprise for Vanna.
Actually, I'm kind of not surprised because typically, we know how good Timmy Brackett is. We have seen TJ's growth over the last few years, and now Vanna's coming into her own. It's a product of the apple didn't fall too far from the tree.
No, you're exactly right.
And I think she just needed time in those cars, and
I think the big change is getting a different car.
Yeah.
So
that was going to be my next point. I think that she is showing her potential now, and who knows where it's going to go. The neat deal about the whole thing is it's something that you can't plan out, and if there's one thing that comes out of this, it's the positives that it will bring to Oxford, in the Mayberry's first season.
Yeah, no, it's a great storyline.
Right. Yeah.
And then you have what I call the gloves off heavyweight championship battle title fights, and that's going to take place again at Star Speedway between Jacob Dorr and Josh Cantera.
Right.
Not that they're wrestling in the pits, and not that anything there, but you know what? That is
two really good teams with really good stuff and really good drivers. And
feathers have been ruffled.
Yeah.
Fingers have been pointed, but that's what, in my opinion, that's what short track racing has missed over the years. And you don't always got to be that cookie cutter, and but now those two are locked in a battle again, where that championship leader title, whatever you want to call it, it's going to come from Maine, which is pretty neat. Jacob in 2012, Josh in 2011, and one of them two is going to wear the crown again, and so they got some races. They finish up after some tracks finish here, so their championship night won't be decided until the weekend of the Pass 400. So Saturday you're at the Pass race doing some all the qualifying, the Wildcat, the preliminary stuff. Chance to jump on the highway and head down to Epping to watch that be settled out that night. Double points, anything can happen, so
double point nights mean the world.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's on the final night, so you can make up a lot of ground.
Right. I mean, if you're 4 points back and on a double points night, now you're 8 points back. That's big jumps.
It don't matter that night.
But you could also gain 8, 10 on the other end.
So it's going to be it's going to come down to those two again, and it's they're both working hard and running up front.
Right.
They didn't run this past weekend, but the last time they did, they finished 1-2. And then 3 guys that I want to throw out there, and they're inching closer to those championship battles, but I don't think there's enough time left in the season for them. Is over at Beech Ridge, Ed Conley and the Wildcats.
Yep.
Made the move up last year, really struggled, some mechanical issues, getting a handle on it.
And really has come into his own.
The last month, has there been anybody any better in that class?
Right.
Won races, runner-up finish, consistently moving forward every week. So he ain't going to want the year to end, but when it does end, he's going to be pretty excited about next year.
And he's going to be looking forward to the big Wildcat race the weekend of the 400,
And in Sports Series, Doug Wolf.
Yep.
Been very consistent the last month. Crawled his way up, inching closer to the top 5 in points. Probably not enough time left to get into the battle to be crowned the champion, but
anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and I want to say he's got to be looking forward to next year, but I saw a for sale sign on his car this past weekend.
Yeah, and
is that
I don't know. It's one of those deals where,
geez, it's hard to quit if and I mean really he's done very well the last month.
Yeah, he found something and he's been battling. I mean, he dug hard and he got second last week and drove his tail off. Really.
Yeah, no, he has. And then that brings us to the pros.
No pun intended, wolf tail.
Wolf tail, yeah. And then that brings us to the Pro Series, and a guy that, I think moved up from the mini mod ranks a few years back, and I think they expected a little more results right off the bat, and I think a lot of people did. A lot of talent.
But really has come into his own this year.
This year has come in his own. They've made some changes, associated himself with some different people, and that's Tyler King in the 11 car. I mean, we saw him pick up his first win the night of the Firecracker 50, where if you can't win the 100, that's the next race you want to win on the regular season schedule at Beech Ridge. And he's backed that up with some great finishes. 2 weeks ago, he was the only guy that had anything for Alan Tata, and the engine expired. And this past week, he was running good, and then got caught up in a couple messes. So, I think there's a team that's going to be loaded for bear, looking towards 2014.
I think they're on to something. They really have been competitive, and they are going to be strong next year.
Yeah, no, you're right. So, some things to watch as we wind the end of the season down over here at, Beech Ridge and Oxford. So we'll take a break, and we'll be right back, and we'll talk about Star Speedway and some of the stuff that's going on down there.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your main returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
For a trusted name in residential and commercial site work in the southern Maine area, call Peter Pettit Excavating. We can handle everything from the complete house lot to those nasty water and sewer line repairs. Septic systems are another area that we specialize in. During the snow season, Pettit Excavating has the equipment to handle any size job.
And when the race season arrives, be sure to follow the number 7 Hewitt's Family Restaurant Chevrolet on the past Super Late Model Tour.
Call 207-282-9305 to get the job done right. That's Peter Pettit Excavating.
Well, other than me getting to race my kart this Friday night over at the Saco Pathfinders, probably the biggest thing happening in the state of Maine is the monster truck throwdown at Oxford.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's just going to be wild. Nothing, you know.
That's one of those shows that there might not be, you know, our show is garnered towards motorsports in general. A lot of people don't realize that because they're so ingrained in the racing circle track stuff. And that is a lot of the meat of our show. But the stuff like the monster trucks at Oxford, that, you know, when they find out about it, that's going to draw a family of 4 probably in from Lewiston, or one from Portland, or one from Kennebunk, or one from Wells.
They've been getting calls from New Hampshire.
Right.
And, you know,
So that's stuff like that is going to draw in people that are going to go to Oxford. And they're gonna say, "Hey, this place is a neat facility. I wonder what a short track Saturday night show, a Friday night show is like."
2 shows going. They got Saturday at 7, and then they got Sunday at 4.
Right.
And the trucks that are going to be there.
Big lineup of trucks.
Yeah, you got Avenger, you got Raising Cane, you got Backdraft. These are trucks that you've seen on TV. You know what I mean? Eradicator, Walking Tall, Brutus, the Ice Cream Man. But the truck that everybody should be going and pulling for and cheering for is Crustacean.
Right.
I mean, it's a lobster. It's based out of Maine.
Right.
Greg Winsenbach does a great job. And one thing me and Greg have in common, the bigger the crowd, the bigger the show. And Greg will throw it down at Oxford.
Right.
You know, and you know, I get a chance to.
Perfect facility for that.
Oh, it's gonna be huge. I mean, these trucks, and you know, one thing that I'll say is these guys just aren't going through the formalities. They want the crowd reaction. They want to hear the oohs and ahs. They want to, you know.
Right.
It's going to be a big deal up there. It's going to be a big deal. And then, you know, for you guys that like the 2-wheel stuff, you got the freestyle motocross.
Yeah, and those guys throw it down pretty good usually
you know,
too.
Flying through the air, the acrobatic stuff, you know, stuff that me and you ain't going to do. No. You know, so, you know, 2 chances at Oxford. You can go to their website, you know, buy your tickets online. I think you can probably buy them at the door. Go to oxfordplains.com, get all the information you need, and you know they have pre-show parties where you can go on the track, meet the drivers, get up close to the trucks, take some pictures, get some hero cards, autographs, and you know really make it a whole weekend up there. You know they do the Wednesday deal, they do the
Friday night
deal, and you know Wednesday we don't get a chance to you know get up there much on Wednesday nights. I've been up to one of their shows, and nobody thought it would be a nice time. We just dropped the photos in of you know, the winners from this past Wednesday night, and you know, the ladies division, the trucks, the outlaws, the I don't know what they call the other ones. It's not road runners, but it's
Running Rebels.
Running Rebels, yeah. So you know, those guys. I mean, they're the midweek programs, just like Beechridge's Thursday Thunder program. But you know, they really you know, they do a great job, and they're there to put on a show just like anybody else. So you got those guys. You can go Friday night to you know, watch the big cars, so to speak, race at Oxford, and then stay all weekend for the trucks.
Take the camper.
There you go. Make it your own weekend up there, and then, you know, and it's that time of year that I really, you know, racing's, I hate to say this, hence the Northeast Motorsports Expo shirt today, how close we are to the off-season.
It's winding down.
How close we are. So get out and support these tracks. Give them the good crowds, the good car counts, everything you can possibly do. Bring the friends to get that out there so we can, you know, gives the track owners and promoters something to build on for 2014.
Right.
You know, get the support from the fans and the crowd. You know, there's still a lot of race action taking place throughout the next month and a half here around the state of Maine.
Right. And, you know, of course, you have the big shows at the end of the year that like cap off the season.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And then next thing you know, it's Northeast Motorsports Expo, where you get to see our shining faces for the whole weekend.
But you know, this week you got Spud, 95 in action.
Yeah.
Over at Unity, the Penny Pounds, where they do a lot of stuff
Right.
with the kids. You know, and I'm going to be up there in a few weeks with Jerry and really excited.
The penny pounds. What now? Do you know what the penny pounds is?
I think they throw
I'm wondering if it has to do with Penny, who's the scorer up there.
I think they came up with the idea, and I think they throw a bunch of pennies on the track, and the kids have to, you know, I guess, I don't know, I guess kids
So
it isn't,
what's going on at 95?
you know, some regular racing as they wind down the year, you know, and
What's going on in Wiscasset? I'm hot seating you right here.
Fan Appreciation Day. Same we did when we
Fan
were involved,
Appreciation number 2.
Number 2. We were involved with the first one, and
Yep.
not be able to involve in this.
And it's similar to the autograph session and stuff at Beech Ridge.
You know? Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of Beech Ridge, what's going on at Beech Ridge
The
this week?
Actor.
So
Curly and his Actor rolling into town, you know.
the Actor, Tom Curley comes in with the long arm of the law, and he shows them how to get it done.
Yeah, so
And
plenty to do.
right, and this is going to be a very, very interesting ACT race, I think, because now we have the weekly guys at Beech Ridge in the Wildcats and the Sports Series are running on American Racing rubber. We know the effects that the Hoosier rubber that the Pro Series have put down. We know that has made an impact on the racing at Beech Ridge. Now we have the American Canadian Tour coming in on their Goodyear rubber. So we're going to have 3 tire manufacturers represented at Beech Ridge this Saturday night. And who knows how it's going to affect the racing.
I'll tell you one thing, if it does affect the racing, you're going to think you're at the world's largest daycare because it's going to be a pit full of whining, right? Pit full of whining. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to have a young driver on that had a great week last week at Thursday Thunder. Been struggling a little bit on the Saturday nights over to Beech Ridge, but hear his take on making the move from, you know, the midweek programs
Right.
to the big cars, and, you know, what he could have done different maybe, and, you know, how happy he is with it. And that's Evan Bollier. So we're going to take a break. Be right back here on Mainely Motorsports.
People always ask us what makes us different at Southern Maine Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
The answer is we make it easy for our customers. We believe in transparency in everything that we do.
That's why we encourage you to visit our website. We provide you with detailed information and upfront discounts without the hassle.
Looking for a new 2013 Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram? You've got to check them out. You can't afford not to. US Route 1, Saco.
Website or on-site?
See how we truly do make it easy.
Southern Maine Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep.
Today's vehicles are equipped with complex safety features such as anti-lock brakes, seatbelt restraints, and airbag systems. Even collision avoidance systems. Not available in all models. Hi, I'm Sean Moody from Moody's Collision Centers. We don't wish bad luck on anyone, but even with today's technology, we need to keep our eyes on the road and our hands on the wheel.
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Mainly Motorsports TV, brought to you by
LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
Welcome to Mainly Motorsports.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainly Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.
Well, we're here with Evan Bollier, and no stranger to Victory Lane on Thursday nights at Thursday Thunder, but, you know, we're starting to think that maybe you weren't going to win a race this year.
It was starting to get a little bit anxious. We're getting towards the end of the year. You know, the way this season's rolled, it just hasn't worked out for us on Thursday nights. We've had a decent car, but I think we could have won the first race, but then, of course, with the rain and everything happening, and we had that unfortunate wreck on the backstretch with John, and the car just hasn't been the same since then. And you know, we worked all season on that car, and we finally, last week, were able to put ourselves in position. We got a good setup now.
And, you know now, you know, with running the Pro Series on Saturday night, how difficult it is to run 2 different types of race cars. Even though it's at the same track, still, you know, you lose some time, and you had to lose a little bit of focus, you know?
Oh, absolutely. You know, the focus that we had on Legend cars obviously isn't there anymore. We only get to work on it one night a week, pretty much. Sometimes it's just Thursday morning, get it ready to go. That Pro Stock just takes up so much time inside our shop, and we do a lot of the work on it. And
you know, that's obviously our next step, and that's where my focus is. The Legend car is more for fun. I just like to race, so
Yeah,
that's why
no,
we're there on
exactly.
Thursdays.
Now talk about the Pro Stock. You're in a deal where you're running a car of Dan McKeag's. It's a car they had around the shop. It's good stuff. But the learning curve to take that next jump and race against the likes of Dan McKeag and, you know, Mike Rowe, Steve Carrier, guys that have tons of years of experience, you know?
Well, it is such a transition because I've been racing Legend cars for 5 years with all the same guys, you know. And for the past 2 or 3 years, I've been the big fish in the pond.
Yep.
Coming into the Pro Stocks now, I'm the little fish now.
Yeah,
Again, it's the same thing, you know, and you have to listen to everybody. And I've been lucky that I was able to get the deal with Dan, and you know, I get to bounce some ideas off of him, and he's been awesome with us, and you know, telling me a lot of strategy in races, how to, you know, passing cars is hard enough in that division, you know. So he's been really helpful on getting me to races, helped the transition a lot, but it's still a lot tougher than I expected.
Is there any comparison between the two?
The speed at Beechridge is close because the Legend cars are only 2 seconds off of their pace. But other than that, at least I was kind of used to carrying a lot of speed through the corner and stuff like that. But you know, Pro Stock has double the tire, double the weight. There's not a whole lot of comparisons. And the drivers are all a lot more aggressive in the Pro Stock too. You know, the biggest thing that I've been saying since the start with Legend cars is there's a group of guys that are there that you know are going to be competitive. You get into the Pro Stock division, it's the biggest division in Maine at Beechridge. Every driver in that field spends the money, makes the time during the week. They all want to win. And that's the biggest transition is you're racing with everybody that's aggressive.
Yeah, and you've gained some respect. I mean, I know this past weekend it was kind of unique. I was watching there one point, Sulo Burbank, another rookie, yourself, and then Nick Cusack, nose to tail on the outside.
Yeah.
You guys weren't going forward.
No,
you know, you were headed towards the back part of the
Oh,
field.
yeah.
But you know what? It's all the learning process.
Yeah.
It's you know, because some week that will be you. And I think back of, I think it was the Firecracker 50. It was probably your highlight event of the year. You had a great run. You ended up with a top 10 finish, and it was the best you as a driver and the car kind of came together that night. You know?
Oh, absolutely. And unfortunately, the past couple of weeks, we weren't able to get to that point again. The Hoosier tire really threw us for a curveball, but Beechridge did a great job on what they did with the situation. They did a great job.
Yeah, it's not what they wanted to do.
No, exactly. And it's not what any of us wanted to do either halfway through the season, but it is what it is, and we just struggled with the transition on the tire. And you know, but yeah, that Miller Lite 50, it was pretty cool racing door to door with Mike Rowe. I mean, I've grown up watching Mike Rowe, and I was racing with Kelly Moore, all those guys, and you kind of put it in perspective. It's like, man, I grew up watching these guys race, you know, and now I'm racing with them.
Now you're out there with them.
It's just, it's pretty cool.
Now, not the year you wanted, but you're not discouraged either. You know, I mean, you're taking it as a learning curve, gives you some ideas and some thoughts on the future for you and, you know, your racing.
Absolutely. You know, we wouldn't be doing it without Dan McKeag and Laura and Lyman and all their crew. You know, and you're right, it's not exactly what we expected going in. I was hoping to be a lot more competitive at this point than we have been, but, you know, I'm just grateful for the opportunity and, you know, it's a learning curve. And we'll be back, we'll be ready next year for it. Yeah.
That's all you can say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're here with Pro Series rookie competitor Evan Boyer, last week's winner on Thursday Thunder Legend Tour. We're going to take a break. We come back. We're going to talk about some other things that, you know, sets Evan apart, in my eyes, from a lot of young drivers that he kind of goes out and does where others maybe miss the boat on. So we'll take a break. Be right back here with Evan Boyer.
Award Champs LLC is Southern Maine's premier award supplier and official award supplier for many of the area's top organizations and events. If you're in need of an award for a sponsor, employee recognition, fundraising event, or an entire sports organization, call Todd Mead at Award Champ. They provide the best for less with competitive pricing like the big online firms, but give you the personalized service you can only get from a local supplier. When you're in need of awards or personalized gifts, call Award Champs, where they'll help you reward your champion.
Mainly Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Southern Maine Motors, out to be Maine's #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealership, Route 1 Saco.
Bentley Saloon, Route 1 in Arundel. Stop by and see why me and my friends say, who has more fun than us? We do.
When you're in need of awards or personalized gifts, call Award Champs, where they'll help you reward your champion.
I mentioned before we went to break, Evan, some of the things you do, and you were one of your big advocate on promoting your sponsors, and obviously Hancock Lumber has been with you for a few years.
Eight to be exact.
8 years. I mean,
It's huge.
Yeah, I mean, you think on the cup level, how many sponsors stay with?
Yeah.
And I've always said this when it comes to sponsors, the on-track performance is a bonus. If you put my name in victory lane, that's a bonus. It's not why I'm sponsoring you. I'm sponsoring you for the off-track stuff, the way you present yourself when you're racing and stuff, and you do a fantastic job. You've always been that way with your sponsors.
Well, you have to be. Sponsors are tough to come by, and you know, I've known it from. I've been lucky enough to know it from the start that promoting your sponsors off the track is more important than on the track. And I've had a great relationship with Kevin Hancock and Harland and Bobby and all the guys at Hancock, and they've stuck by me for 8 years, from the go-kart level right through legend cars, now up into the pro stock. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it is. So they're part of the growth. So they've been through the ups and downs, and that's why it's so rewarding for them when you do find that success. You know, a few years ago, the Legend Championship, and you know, there's going to be wins in the pro stock future for Evan Bullier. You know, obviously your dad's been a major part of it. And, you know, none of you young kids could do it without the help of your parents. You know?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. My dad's been through with me thick and thin. You know, there's been a lot of tough years, especially when we started out legend car racing, but he's been through me for all of it.
Yeah, and then, you know, something coming up Labor Day weekend, you know, you're involving yourself and your team in kind of like a toy drive. And, and, you know, talk about that.
Well, we're going to do a Toys for Tots program. Kind of get some people to donate some toys for the kids, and we're going to have the pro stock up at Hancock Lumber in Brunswick, Maine on Thursday of this week. So yeah, I mean, and then the big show is the car show on Presumpscot Street at Portland Motor
Club, yeah.
Motor Club.
It's owned by the Waldron family that owns Southern Maine Motors, and they say it's huge. I mean, it's just a big thing.
Well, that's what I've heard,
You know,
so
it's been
that's
going
why
on.
I'm
And your deal is you're going to like drive your car in full of toys, right?
Absolutely, and it's gonna be cool to have the pro stock there with a bunch of toys in it, and I'm glad I got Hancock Lumber involved with it. I also work at the Brunswick store, so it makes it pretty cool too. So yeah, we're gonna have the car there. We're gonna have a cookout on Thursday, so it'll be a big party.
And like you said, it's not only what you do on the track, it's
That's
what
right.
you can do off the track.
That's
and
right.
And I've always told these young drivers, I can tell you, I can show you drivers that have won a ton of races, ton of championships, riding around with bare hoods and bare quarter panels, and I can show you guys that have never won anything, but they get sponsored, and you know, a lot of it is, you know, having that connection and knowing somebody, but in a lot of it is when, you know, when somebody runs into a sponsor and says, hey, boy, you know, the kid you sponsor, you know, did a good job, met him at happy half hour, met him at the autograph session, had my kid sit in the car, very, very friendly, very, you know,
Yeah, we
you know,
always
saw him
try
at
to
the
do that.
off-season car shows, you know.
Yeah, we always try to get involved on anything that's off the track. And, you know, the biggest thing about promoting yourself off the track is you got to get the word out there. And that's why, you know, when I got into legend cars back in 2008, there wasn't many people, you know, they were promoting the series, but there wasn't articles every week. So I kind of took that over too. I wanted to, you know, it benefited the tour, but at the same time, it's going to benefit me. So that's why I did
exactly.
it. You know?
And,
Just
you know,
stuff like that.
And then the stuff you do on the side, you know, Nitro Designs, you're writing some
Absolutely.
press releases, got some, got some top name drivers in your camp, DJ Shaw, Joey Dwyer, you know, the hero cards. You know, this tomorrow night is, you know, the autograph session. You're going to be getting a lot of hero cards from a lot of these drivers, and you know, some of the fancier ones are coming right from this cat. He designs them, puts them together, and you know, so you do a great job in getting into all aspects of the sport.
Absolutely, and yeah, Nitro Designs was really started as kind of a just a hobby thing, but now, you know, I've gotten to like it, and it's something I want to grow into, you know, my own company, and you know, everybody has to have a support system if they want to continue racing, so that's hopefully the goal.
Yeah, and anything that can help pay the bills on those race cars.
That's
right?
exactly right, and everybody's got to remember, next weekend is going to be the autograph night at Beechridge Motor Speedway on Saturday night.
So,
need some hero cars, nitrodesigns.net.
Yeah, self-promotion, but
absolutely.
one thing Evan Bullier does great. But, no, we want to wish you luck the rest of the year. I mean, it's been I know it's been a tough year, but you know what? Every week you finish it and you're finding a positive in it. Your team's gelling, and that's what it's all about when you make that. And that's a big step, Legend Cars to Pro Series. Like you said, it might only be 2 seconds, but there's not a lot other than, you know, the speed you carry into the corners that you're taking with you.
Absolutely, and you know, I got such a great team behind me, and you know, for my own team, it's me, my dad, and a couple of my buddies from school. So it's really cool to get them involved too. They're all behind me, and we're all learning together. But I couldn't have been doing this without the help from Dan and all the McCaig Naughty 40 crew. They've been such, like I said, they're just a huge help, and I wouldn't be here without them. And like you mentioned, I got Joey Dwyron. He's been helping us every week, him and Donnie and Charlie and Dalton, pretty much their crew, and Charlie Bucks is my spotter, you know. And then, of course, I'm going to take this second to thank all my sponsors: Hancock Lumber, Bollier Construction, Kopp Excavating, Moat Mountain, K&B Automotive. Brett and Jen have been awesome. And
they just came on board as a scroll sponsor. So.
Oh, did they? All right, perfect.
Now
And
we're just waiting for Nitro Designs.
We're waiting for Nitro Designs. Well, we're going to make some money next week at the autograph session. We might be able to work something out.
Oh, that's
and,
awesome.
you know, and speaking of Jen and Brett, I've just got to say that Wyatt Alexander and the Legend Car has been doing a great job this season. Just want to give him a shout out on the show.
No, he really has for a young man, and he's got a bright future. You know, and I don't think you'll see him hanging around the Legend ranks too long either.
No,
you know.
No, but you know, absolutely, he's going to move forward and he's going to win a lot of races.
Yeah. So that's Evan Bollier, driver of the number 56 Legend car, as well as the 56 Pro Series at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. That you can see him twice a week for 2 more weeks. We'll take a break, come back, show you all the results from around the area this week that got in. If you were supposed to race on Friday, you didn't get in, but at least you had some racing on Saturday.
The Monster Truck Throwdown Tour invades the Oxford Plains Speedway. Saturday and Sunday, August 17th and 18th. Watch 8 of the biggest and baddest Monster Truck superstars, including Jim Kohler in Avenger, Backtrack, Raising Cane, and Maine's very own Monster Lobster Crustacean Throwdown, in Maine's biggest outdoor event of the summer. Plus, see the thrills of freestyle motocross and take a ride in a real monster truck. Kids tickets start at just $10. Call 207-539-8865 now to reserve your tickets. Don't miss the pre-race party with the driver. Produced by Midwest Monster Truck Events.
Mainly Motorsports TV, brought to you by
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Clark's Car Crushing, providing guaranteed honest weights with top dollar being paid.
Looking for something different and exciting to do on Friday night? How about real NASCAR racing at Lee USA Speedway, featuring the ground-pounding, super-fast, super-modifieds, the fender-rubbing late model sportsman, unpredictable hobby stocks, and more. It's great family fun and excitement. Kids under 12 get in free, and there's acres of free and easy parking. Friday nights at Lee USA Speedway, located right on Route 125 in Lee, New Hampshire. Check LeeUSASpeedway.com for more information.